So one thing that's pretty universal amongst everyone that plays this game, whether you go into ranked, maybe you just play casually, maybe you're a super sweat, you're in high celestial eternity, trying to push into one above all and everything. Something that we've all dealt with is toxicity, right? This community is very interesting, and one of the jokes I've made, because I used to play a little bit of Overwatch back when it first came out, what Overwatch took years to develop toxic wise, Marvel Rivals did in a couple months, and that's actually kind of impressive. I ain't gonna lie. We became just as toxic as Overwatch. That took years to kind of get to where it was at. We did that in a couple of months. And there's a couple reasons why it got that way so quick on this game. It's a bunch of reasons. We're gonna unpack it in this discussion, all right? So without further ado, if you're brand new here, welcome. My name is Fanta, and I do a lot of discussion content on Marvel Rivals specifically on this channel. So if you enjoy, the community, you enjoy this game, you want to see it be better, you like these dialogues of, balancing what could be better, what the devs can do, certain issues within the community that we can bring to light. And pretty much the goal is just to improve the Marvel Rivals community. I want to see everyone do better. I want the devs to be better, the content creators to be better, just everyone just to have a better experience. And the way we do that is to, talk about it, have discussions. If there's something that you I always say this in my videos. I am not right. What I say is not fact. I'm not saying like I'm the pillar of something. I can be wrong. I can have a perspective that someone else might, see differently, because I'm not a duelist main necessarily. I understand how to play duelist, but sometimes a perspective from, a DPS that I don't play, y'all may have a different input that you can add in for me. So I'm never against any input. With that said, though, I do appreciate all the support that you guys give me on this channel. Man, I just started posting, and we recently passed 150 subs. So thank you. That's amazing. And we're just going to keep going. I really do appreciate all the support. With that said, though, I'm going to add this up in here, too, so I don't forget. If you go into my comment section, because I already had a couple idiots, a couple remedial monkeys down there. Listen, y'all niggas, I'm pretty chill, right? Grew up, I played basketball, boxing, I deal with that version of in-person toxicity, so that kind of stuff I can respect. But if you're going to come on the internet and be mad disrespectful in a comment section, trying to, be on some little boy junk, I ain't tolerating it. Look, I'm not tolerating stupidity over here. You can go somewhere else with that bullshit. We cool? Nice. All right, cool. Let's get it. So, what contributes? What is wrong with this game, with the community, right? When it comes to ranked, right? We've all been in these ranked matches. We all dealt with people that don't want to switch, tough egos. And why is that? How is it that we've gotten to this point? And like I said, it's a couple reasons. One of the main things, it's mindset, right? The mindset of people in this game, they vary very differently because everyone has a very different cultural background, right? Here's what I mean. If you played sports growing up, whether it be basketball, football, chess, boxing, hockey, any kind of competitive sport, right, where you're going against somebody, you yourself hold yourself to a different standard. You want to be in shape. You're going to do what you got to do to make sure you're working on your you're going to do what you got to do to make sure that you're working on your game. Like basketball, for example, right? I do a lot of shooting reps, layup drills. I make sure I'm conditioned. So whenever I do tournaments and stuff, I'm not out of shape. I'm not gassed out. You feel me? I'm getting shots up to make sure, my shot percentage is right when I go into a game. It's a lot of prep. It's a lot of mindset wise. I want to be better. When I go up against someone, when I'm matched up against somebody else, I want to make sure I have all the tools in my bag that I can execute and not be, a hindrance on my team, because Marvel Rivals is a very team heavy game. It's not like Call of Duty. It's not like, for example, other games where you can kind of just slay out on your own and get value that way. It's very team oriented, but people come on this game and don't have a team oriented style of thinking. I did a lot of played Halo 4, did a lot of competitive Halo 4, Halo 5 a little bit. Apex played an unhealthy amount of ranked on Apex Legends, not gonna lie to you. I played MOBAs, here and there. So I like the competitive aspect when it comes to team games and that kind of thing, comps, positioning. I love that stuff and how to get better. The problem is, especially in ranked, what this game has contributed to and turned into, you get a lot of people that don't share that mindset. So what ends up happening when you ask somebody like, hey, like if I'm on a basketball court, I got a teammate, I pass them the ball, they're wide open, they pump fake, and they don't shoot the ball. You know what I do in that situation? I'm like, look, we go down the court, I'm like, yo, shoot the ball. Like I'm telling them, like, yo, shoot the ball. The contrast to that, the Marvel Rivals freaking analogy to that, or equal to that, is okay. You got a duelist, you got a healer, you got somebody playing a character that they're just not doing well on, right? They're just playing something you can clearly they're just not performing too good on it. You ask them, hey, can you switch? Why either switch roles with me, or hey, be a little bit more aggressive. I like to tell my DPS, especially people that play Moon Knight, because I get a lot of Moon Knight players. Hey, Moon Knight, can you not just stand behind me and shoot? Can you go and off to a flank angle? Throw your onk, do your little burst damage combo, create, a little bit of chaos in their backline so the tanks can't just stand in front of me as easily. You tell people to do that, they throw a tantrum on this game. That's like me telling a grown man in person, because a lot of y'all be grown adults on this game, okay? If it was a bunch of little kids like Roblox, okay, that's one thing. But y'all be grown adults acting stupid. Y'all be working 9 to 5s, clocking into a job just like everybody else doing, and be acting like a goddamn child on here. That's like me telling a dude, hey, shoot the ball next time. He throws a tantrum. Oh, screw you, man. Nah, bro. And oh my God, don't let it be a Jeff the Land Shark player. Oh my God, that's a whole different tangent. Let me chill. I'm gonna leave y'all Jeff the Land Shark mains alone this video. Maybe not, I might be capping. But it's just like, why? And one of the problems is that a lot of people that play this game never came from a competitive background, right? I always say a lot of people that play this game, they're used to playing, freaking Dress to Impress or something. They're used to playing single player games where they can kind of move at their own tempo. Some of you came from fighting games. Some of you came from, third person, like Fortnite. You may have came from Call of Duty. You may have came from Warzone. There's a lot of different games, that this game has attracted because of the Marvel IP. So you just dump a bunch of people into this big old bowl. And since people don't understand the hero shooter fundamentally, right? So they already don't have a fundamental understanding. They're not going to have the mindset understanding to deal with people tell them, hey, you need to adjust. Mentally, they just soft. That's why my main critique on support mains in this game is that y'all are too soft. A lot of y'all are too soft when people get onto you for playing bad. You get a lot of people getting their feelings. Not saying that DPS mains don't be acting soft, but my whole critique with DPS, people, is that some of y'all are just stupid. It's just like, have you never played a sport where you do something stupid and the coach or your teammates ever got on to you? Man, I played basketball before. I've taken a shot where, I'm thinking it's the greatest shot in the world. I take a shot, I do a little fadeaway, I hit the top of the backboard. You best believe my homie coming up to me like, hey, D, don't shoot that bullcrap no more, cuz. Coach look at me like, don't shoot that BS no more. I tell my support, hey, man, don't do that double ult again, bro. Stop double ulting. They getting their feelings. You can't handle a little criticism? And people are like, well, it's the way you say it. See, that's the freaking problem. See, that's what I mean. A lot of y'all never played in a competitive anything. Some of y'all just grew up, never had nobody yell at you or nothing. Never had a military family or nothing. It just shows. Y'all never had no kind of accountability. You never had to had a team or surrounded by a team where people were relying on you to do the right thing, to make the right play, to be prepared. A lot of people that play this game never had that. I always tell my friends, right? I have a group of friends that I play with when I'm playing casually. And I got a group of friends that I play with when we're trying to be sweaty, because how we talk to each other is completely different. I used to play Apex a whole bunch. One of my main goals on that game, because I just really liked the game at the time. I wanted to hit Masters. That was just one of my goals. I don't care if it wasn't the best rank. I just really wanted to hit Master rank, because I used to play and I'm like, dang, I'm having a hard time playing. So I spent a lot of time, freaking learning meta, learning how to aim and junk. Oh, I'm just doing the most positioning, rotation, POIs, the freaking most. And it was 3 of us that we would consistently play together. If one of us made a bad play, you best believe you were gonna hear it when you did something stupid. You launched a Gibby bubble too early. You messed up a freaking what was that character's name? Not Angela, the girl that did the wrecking ball on that game. I can't remember her name. I want to say Angela, but I don't think it was Angela. Anyway, the girl on Apex that could throw a wrecking ball. You messed up that kind of ult. Oh my gosh, right? You would be surprised that we were even friends in the first place. Desi 2, Trials of Osiris. Shout out to my boy Trent. Shout out to my boy Welch. Because we were in the trenches. You would have thought every time we played Trials of Osiris as a 3-stack on that game, our friendship was on the line. People would be, they would hear our comms and be like, y'all are freaking friends. And we're like, yeah, we cool. I can't, if I make a bad play and someone gets on to me, I can be like, okay, I'll take accountability. Okay, I'll adjust. And some of y'all be like, oh, well, it's just the way you say it. Well, if I say it too nice, you don't listen, right? So it's like, hey, can you switch? I get no answer. So like sometimes you just gotta get toxic. It's the same way sports in real life. Sometimes people just don't resonate with being like just soft voices. Sometimes you just gotta be like, okay, like, bro, you're sucking. Especially when I play basketball. You know, if I got like, you know, a younger kid on my team, I'm like, yo, you're playing too scary. Stop playing so scary. You have to be in their face. They're not going to get it. It's just like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I be having duos in my game. I get on the song. I'm like, I might go in a texture chat like, hey, can we tighten up? I'm not saying you got to switch, but can you just tighten up? Can you lock it in for me? Can we hit some shots? Can we create some pressure? Hey, can you position a little bit better? You're dying a little too easily for me. My support, some of y'all be dying too easily. Sometimes I'll tell if I do have a secondary tank, I'll be like, hey, or if I'm on support, I'll tell my tank, hey, you're overextending a little too much. You know, I don't mind pushing up, but like if you just jump in between 6 people on the enemy team or we're pushing through a choke, I can't do nothing about it. Can you back it up and wait till we create some pressure? Wait till we get an advantage before you kind of just lunge up in there. You tell that to people, they get so mad. They get so mad. And they can't handle it. They can't handle you. They can't handle you telling them that they're doing something wrong. Right? I grew up, look, sports, if I'm doing something wrong, I heard it. On this game, if I'm doing something completely wrong, and I even tell you guys, hold me accountable. If I say something that you guys just don't agree with, be like, hey, Fanta, I don't really agree with that. Hey, Fanta, that was a crazy take, you know? But keep it respectful, though. You feel me? Like, when I get on someone, I'm not saying, like, yo, you're the worst person I played with. I don't even be doing all that. I just be like, yo, can you lock it in for me? All right? And if they're just having a bad game, I'm just like, hey, GG, avoid list. Hey, avoid list. It's like, okay, you know what? At least he tried. You're getting put on the avoid list, though, buddy. You're a repeat offender. I ain't got time for you, okay? I don't got time to be getting you in my matches over and over, and you're just continuing. They're just like, oh, I just had a bad game. Nah, this is regular. This is regular, bro. Nah. I don't got time for all that. I don't got time for y'all to be continually selling me over and over again. You know, some of y'all have never been cut from a sports squad. You never felt like, dang, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. Let me go into the practice range to try and get better. There's not enough people with that mindset in this game. Some of y'all have never been cut from something, been told, oh, you need to go improve. There's not enough of that. People that hop on Marvel Rivals, it's just a whole bunch of egomaniacs. Oh, I smurf your peak, blah, 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 blah. Some of y'all sound so remedial. Just so stupid. Oh, you're just low IQ. Oh my gosh. I had an Adam Warlock, right? I got onto his case a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. I wasn't being hyper toxic about it, but I got onto his case. I was very direct. I was just like, bro. Because he was on tank and he was just playing like a bot on tank. He was just walking to the enemy team and actually just dying. It was the most painful thing I've ever seen. Because I was playing Gambit. We only had 2 supports, so we had 2 supports, 3 DPS. So I couldn't really swap like that because the DPS weren't necessarily gonna swap to support if I went tank. That was the problem. I tell him, hey, let me play tank. You can play whatever support you want, and we'll figure it out from there. We swap roles. He goes Adam Warlock, right? Adam Warlock in a dual support comp and metal ranks. Not gonna lie to you, it was a little scary, and rightfully so. I was right, because this man was on Adam Warlock not doing a god dang thing right. This man held his ult for 5 minutes. He got his ult on the first point. He held his ult all the way up until we were in overtime on the second point, trying to get to the third one. I told him, hey, can you pop your ult? There's been multiple times we got teammates dying. You just decide not to pop. This man tells me it doesn't make sense to pop an Adam ult when one person dies. Some of you low elo Adam players get on my... Hold on. You know what? Hold on. Let me pull this freaking golden bastard up right quick. Some of you Adam Warlock players that tend to play in the lower elo side of this game get on my god dang nerves, okay? I ain't talking about high, like I said, high elo and low elo, two different things, Adams, okay? So if you're, an eternity, high celestial Adam, congratulations. I'm not talking about you, all right? But for my Adams that are in these metal ranks that feel the need that the only time that they're supposed to ult is when half the goddamn team is dead, no. There's so many times I'm like, okay, I see we have an Adam. So if I'm on tank, I can get a little bit more aggressive. He can pop his ult, so I don't have to run all the way back to spawn, and we can still continue our momentum. Sometimes you could be snowballing the enemy team. I might overextend just a little because I'm just trying to keep that pressure up, right? This man doesn't know. He held his ult for 5 minutes. So I get on to him like, yo, why aren't you popping? He's like, it's stupid to pop when one person dies. Well, it's also stupid to hold your ult for 5 minutes and we lose the match behind it. He was like, well, that's not how you play Adam. I'm like, some of y'all are actually just mindset wise. And then he had a teammate that said, Adam is trying his best. The motherfucker sat there and went 12 and freaking 15. Like, huh? He had one final hit. No Adam ult. He never ulted. Ever. And yes, we lost the match, by the way, because he just didn't want to ult. Like, Adam's ultimate, when you execute it right, he throws the match off so much, because you can launch freaking a healer ult. You can launch, like, okay, for example, right, because this happened before. Your team, rocket ult, Star-Lord ult, right? You're using all your abilities, you know what I'm saying? Because you got that damage boost from Rocket, Star-Lord's going in. You guys should try and wipe out the enemy team. As soon as Star-Lord's ult is over, Rocket's ult's coming to an end, boom, Adam Warlock ult. Revive his whole team. Guess what? Now they're coming back at you with an ultimate. It's just like, god dang, we did all that for no reason. And I got people who just sit there and y'all don't even want to ult for nothing. You can use Adam ult, right? And then it'll still stay up as your teammates die. I think a lot of these people don't realize that. I think they only think you can use it once people are dead. You can use it while people are going to die. If you know people are going to die, you can pop it. Boom, they die, they come back. But the mindset, they don't go out the way to freaking learn the character. And honestly, bro, I don't understand how people learn these. You guys go out your way to learn these off healers, these hybrid-esque kind of healers, and you decide to suck with them. You don't decide to learn all the ins and outs. You don't have the mindset to master them. You just want to play them and be freaking remedial and be freaking buns. You want to do the bare minimum. I can't even say they're average with the character. You guys, like, some of y'all play these characters and decide to be below average. And then I look at, oh, I know what I'm doing. I have Lord Jeffs. Y'all people on Lord. People will sit here and say, oh, the Jeff hate is forced. The Jeff love is the most ridiculous thing in this game. Oh, it's Jeff. Oh, some of y'all it's a reason why people hate Jeff. It's because of Jeff players. It has something to do with it. The character's kid. I might actually sit there and do a little mini rank series on my little alt account that I have that I've been learning DPS on. I might sit there and just play Jeff and get him freaking Lord and like do like a freaking unranked to like GM with Jeff. Just so I can sit there and show people like you're playing him wrong. I fundamentally understand almost all the supports outside of freaking Deadpool, right? I don't understand support pool. I have to watch a couple guide videos because I don't know what the heck be going on with his kid. I'm not gonna lie to you. Every time, the 2 times I tried, I absolutely threw. So I just don't touch him no more until further notice. But fundamentally, people just don't go out their way to learn fundamentals on this game. I may not have a Lord Loki. I may not have a Lord Cloak and Dagger. I may not have a Lord Luna, but guess what? I understand these characters fundamentally enough to execute them so our team has like a net plus benefit. I don't know if you guys ever heard of like a plus minus in basketball. You know, when a player's on a court, you know, like the team is at like a minus. That's what it'd be like with some of y'all that play this game. You are a net minus. Your plus minus is in the negative. You guys be playing Jeff. You guys be playing Mantis missing shots. You guys be playing Adam Warlock, not Resin. Right? Not doing no damage, not getting no picks. You guys are a net minus. You are a hindrance. People are too comfortable being a hindrance on this game. The mindset needs to shift. If you're going to be if you're just going to play QP, all my casual people that just play the game like hyper casually, I'm not talking about y'all, okay? Just keep doing your thing. Keep buying your skins. Keep having fun. But some of y'all that decide to have this casual mindset and then queue up ranked and get boosted into these weird lobbies because the rank system is so stupid, I can't stand y'all. You can't take any kind of criticism. We lose one fight, you guys are hitting the surrender button. Why? What is wrong with some of y'all that play this game? Why are you coming to rank so miserable? It's like playing a sport that you know you're not good at. Y'all choose to come up in here and suck. No one's making you queue up. No one's making nobody. Look, I know I'm not good at soccer. You're not going to see me on a soccer field trying to get good at soccer, knowing god dang well. You're not going to see me in no soccer tournament. I know I can't play tennis. You're not going to see me sign up for a tennis tournament and then get mad when I say, like, what are we doing? Y'all, it's the mindset and the culture, and then you got people who get toxic, and it just doesn't make sense. It's like we're all here to win, right? That's why one tricks confuse me, because what happens if you don't have that character? I said this wasn't going to be a freaking Jeff rant video, but it just, for some reason, it always ends up being a Jeff, right? Season 5.5, I can't tell y'all how many times I lost a game to a Jeff one trick on my team. It makes no sense because some of y'all played the character a whole bunch, but you don't go out your way to watch guides and master like the ins and outs of the character and fully utilize them. Same thing with the supports and Joe. Some of y'all, you'll play Gambit, you'll play Invis, and you play them in the most passive way possible. And then when I tell you, hey, get a little bit more aggressive. Hey, go into the practice range. I had somebody. Oh my God. This is one of my homies, actually. I hate to say it. This was somebody within my friend circle. Right? We all know Gambit has a bunch of abilities. We all know this. He gets on Gambit, right? Because I told him, I'm like, yo, a Gambit low-key would be nice. He was like, yeah, I can get on Gambit. I'm like, but do you know how to play Gambit? He's like, well, you know, I can figure it out. No. Do you know how to play Gambit? He was like, not really. I'm like, okay, let's go to the practice range. Let's read his abilities. Okay, let's learn him. But let's take 5 minutes just to learn what all his abilities do before we just go into ranked and you just sit there and start selling, right? Before you try to just swap the Gambit mid-match, let's stop. Let's wait till after the match is over. We'll go into the practice match and we'll figure it out. I ain't doing all that reading. You can't. What do you mean you're not doing all that? You're not gonna read? That's too much, bruh. Alright, dog. I'm like, look, some people, it's funny because some people actually refuse to read what their character's abilities do. I had somebody on here sit there and tell me, oh, when you use the healing, doesn't the healing deck boost his healing? No. I got people who play Gambit that don't realize that his little slam and his like little heart deck, when you activate it, does self-healing. I got a Gambit in my back line. I'm on Magneto. He was just like, bruh, I need healing, bro. The other support's not healing me. The other support was dead at the time. He's talking about something. Yeah, I need to go get a health pack. I'm like, bro, you have a slam. You have 2 slams. You can do the little Bayou Bash to also give you a little bit of boost in health. You could just activate the heart deck and that'll give you health. What are you talking about? You need to go find a health pack. I got people on Invis, right? Hold on. I got people on in. I can't. Am I blind or something? Oh, there she is. I got people who play Invis who still don't realize her shield is great for self-healing. She been out for this long, almost a year, and we still know that she can like, these are not my peers. Y'all don't go out your way to read, to understand, to really master these characters, and that's my problem. That's the problem in ranked. Some of y'all get boosted. I got DPS that don't understand how to fully utilize their characters. They don't understand flank routes. They don't understand positioning. They don't understand when to apply pressure. They don't understand timing. I got tanks. Same principle. They don't understand how to hold space. They don't understand when to back up. They just feel like, they're supposed to stand in one spot and just die and get like freaking heals pumped into them. No, learn when to back up. Until people on this game learn to have better mindsets, learn to play with the elite, like I said, at least on the rank side of things, right? If you just play casually, that's cool. But on the competitive side of this game, where a lot of the toxicity comes from people who come from a competitive background. They want to win, getting put with people who haven't grown up with a competitive background, whether it be sports, whether it be playing competitive in another game, playing fighting games. And then they come onto this game and they can't handle people telling them, hey, you're doing this wrong. Your mindset is soft, is weak. And that's why they got people, oh, I'm throwing. You ask them to switch, oh, I'm throwing. Oh, well, since you're going to be that way, you guys see it on my Twitch streams. When I stream on Twitch, well, since you guys are going to be like that, I'm just going to stand in the base the whole time. I hate these niggas. Some of y'all are too comfortable with losing. I got some people, even some of my homies I queue up with, right? Some of them just be, I got one homie, they're like, man, I don't even care anymore. I'm like, that kind of mindset is a great way for me not to play with you, especially if we're in ranked. I hold everybody accountable. And if I'm playing a ranked match and I'm just not locked in, I'm like, you know what, let's go to QP, man. I'm not going to keep queuing range. I'm letting my teammates down, I'm letting my randoms down. I can't keep doing that. Let's go to QP, let's go to the practice range, let me reset. Y'all don't be VOD reviewing. Some of y'all don't even VOD. I ask somebody, hey, do you ever look at your gameplay? No, why? When I play basketball, I like to record. I literally have videos of myself playing basketball on YouTube, actually. But I like to record myself, like, doing workouts, doing drills. Sometimes I do one-on-ones with people. I like to record it just to see, okay, maybe my foot placement could have been right. Oh, you know what? I actually could have went downhill. Oh, I should have took that shot. That was a bad move. Oh, I played him the wrong way on defense. It's the same thing with VOD reviewing. It's watching film. If you played football, you guys know about watching film. If you play basketball, you know about watching film. I know my black folk in here, so y'all know about watching film. Y'all know about it. People don't do. We got all these VOD, you got all these tools, and they don't even watch. They don't even care to go back and see how they lost. I got homies, they're like, I don't know why I'm hard stuck. I go watch their gameplay. It's like 50 different things that they doing wrong immediately. Positioning be terrible. They can't hit a goddamn shot. It just be like the most painful thing in the world. And that's majority of the community. Y'all that are in like, high celestial eternity, y'all aren't the majority. Y'all are like the 1-2%. I'm talking about that 89 to 90% else of everybody else. That being these metal ranks, that being diamond, that being these low GM lobbies just selling. It don't make a lick of sense. So until we prove the mindsets of this game, right, we have to hold people accountable. You can't just be nice to people and just let them lose. You have to be on their head. We're eventually going to have to shift to a point where everyone is comfortable with trying to win when it comes to ranked. The devs are going to have to put stuff in place to like incentivize people doing better and winning and stop all this throwing, which I know they talked about throwing. I'll get to that on another day. But until the mindsets change and all this soft stuff ends, it's going to be the same toxicity nonsense. And we just speed ran because we just dumped like 50 different kinds of people into one little area. It is annoying, though. Let me know what you guys think, though, down below about, the community, how the toxicity has affected you. Well, give me some story times down below. Give me some story times. I know y'all got some stories. Go ahead and give me some stories down below if y'all getting sold in a rank match. I know there's some down there. But I'll see y'all in the next video, man. I'm out of here.